Rebel Radio presents
Cannabis and coffee, a vicious cycle of love. Cannabis and coffee, a bullet to a cup of Joe. Joe hands me a joint, we can taste so nice with a macchiato.
People, this is your host Dom, and I'm here with Tory. Say what's up, Tory.
What's up?
And we have a special guest with us today. We have Wyatt Early. Say what's up, Wyatt.
Hey everybody, happy to be here.
We're happy to have you. I'm glad that you joined us. I'm glad that you graced us with your presence. I'm still in awe. I have the latest issue here. We have the Maryland director here with us, ladies and gentlemen, of the Maryland Leaf. If you don't know, you need to get familiar. Honestly, this is a great body of work you guys have here. Like, honestly.
Thank you so much. You know, we try to incorporate as much patient feedback and just be a part of the community as much as we possibly can.
And you guys do that. Honestly, every day, like I feel as though like how I try to track and try to collect all of these issues, it's like Pokemon cards to me, man. Like I'm really chasing, like I'm like, where's this issue? Between looking at the graphics, looking at the articles within it, is like gems every time I open it up, man. It's like you guys do a phenomenal job.
Thank you. Yeah, you know, everyone on our staff is patients. Everybody comes from a background of respecting their relationship with cannabis and understanding that while we do just have a medical program here, there are other elements to cannabis, like the culture side to it, which we just highlighted in our December issue. And, you know, it's something that we want to help bring to Maryland, but, you know, it's not just us. It's kind of everybody starting to accept that culture is a big part of cannabis as well. And I think Maryland sees that without us having to say anything.
Yeah, I mean, you probably have a whole range of new demographics, I guess.
It's very interesting to see the people that read our magazine. We've been working on our demographics over the last 2 years, and it's just a huge range. You know, our magazine reaches lots of other states besides Maryland in the online versions, and it's just really, the reach has grown and grown, and we're really happy and grateful that people have been accepting us.
Yeah, it's an incredible resource for everybody. No, I read the November one. I didn't get a chance to get December, but yeah, with the terpenes, it was with matching it with different like hops and the terpenes, like different.
So that came from our Oregon magazine actually, and the Washington magazines. We have the Northwest Leaf and Oregon Leaf. They actually do a monthly tannins and terpenes pairing. So they're taking a cannabis or a cannabis flower or a concentrate or even an edible and pairing that with either an alcoholic beverage, a tea. There are so many things that have tannins in them other than alcohol. So that's something that we tried to do differently this year. Was last September in 2019, we did all cannabis and alcohol pairings. This year we had some tea, some coffee. We wanted to try to differentiate it because not everybody drinks alcohol. So we had to make it so that everybody could at least take part in it or try out one of our pairings if they're a patient in Maryland.
Right, exactly. I mean, I'm not a big drinker. I just like, you know, a couple puffs and chill out, you know, just like a couple glasses of wine. I do like wine, but my preference is just to have, you know, some smoke.
And you know, a lot of people don't even know what tannins are, and I didn't know a thing about tannins until last September coming up to September when we were prepping for this issue. And you know, it opened up my eyes, and it was really exciting to see how those things kind of chemically come together. And it was nice to be a part of selecting those things. We brought in a sommelier for both years, and we had them, and the sommelier each time was a different person, and they were both patients in the cannabis industry here in Maryland. So they knew the products. As a sommelier, they know everything about wine and every other product in their store. So that we felt that they were the most qualified to actually smell the cannabis, you know, and take that and pair it with a wine or a beer or a tea or a cocktail, etc.
Wow, that's awesome. And considering that the show is cannabis and coffee, we
Yeah.
definitely with coffee. So for you guys to have that in there, that's definitely dope.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Definitely. And just like I said, every page is full of information. Between you giving highlights to the bud tenders, to you giving strands of the week or whatever is out there, giving full information. Like, I'm telling you guys, if you haven't, pick this up. Pick it up. And you also have it available online, correct?
Yeah, if you go to issue, it's issuu.com. You can search Maryland Leaf or any of our other publications, and you can see every issue we've ever done for free. Also, if you don't feel like typing in issue, you can just search Maryland Leaf on Google, and it'll take you straight there. And yeah, you know, we want to have it be as accessible as possible. We get asked a lot about actually shipping them directly to patients' houses. And the plan for that right now is actually we're just, you know, with our business model, we never want to take money from patients ever. And so what we want to do with the subscription model is to figure out a cost so that they're paying exactly to the penny what we're paying to ship it to them. So we're not making subscription money, which is how a lot of other magazines do it and how they, you know, make a lot of money. But that's just, we're not interested in making money from patients.
Wow. And that, again, is another situation or backing that I appreciate from you guys. You guys don't try to pretty much rob.
Right. You're not profit, you know.
Yeah.
But you know, it's getting back to the demographic. A lot of older people, older patients, they are not tech savvy, and they want to read a paper, you know.
Absolutely. I've had lots of older patients, if you will, come up to me and tell me how much our magazine has helped them make decisions on products, learn about general cannabis things. So, you know, it's from the general stuff to the specifics. We try to cover it all in a way that's, you know, showing you guys what's good. You know, we try to show everybody the best things of Maryland's cannabis industry and show them what it has to offer.
Excellent.
Now,
No,
how
that's
did
incredible.
you do cannabis, Wyatt, if you don't mind me asking?
So cannabis has always been in my family. The publisher of our magazine is also my father, and he was always, you know, been a cannabis user for his whole life. My family and I always knew about it. You know, we knew that he used it medicinally as well as recreationally, and you know, we were all okay with it. And once it became something that was, you know, more widely accepted, everybody could kind of like let their guard down and just fully accept it publicly, I guess is the best way to say that. But, you know, myself, I just, you know, experimenting around with it a little bit towards, you know, the end of high school, and just kind of figuring out what worked for me in terms of products and what I like to smoke and what I didn't like to smoke. And that just, you know, kind of set me up to want to continue learning about cannabis, so that I can know more about it and just be as informed as I possibly can.
Again, information.
Yeah.
Gotta know what's good and what's not, right?
Of course,
Exactly.
and inform yourself. Get some education, man. Don't just get in there.
Right. There's so much to know, really. Don't just think it's, you know, just one thing to just catch a buzz or get high.
And we like to show different viewpoints. So, you know, we've got a lot of the same writers that are writing for us from month to month. But we're switching up stories sometimes. We're always hiring new writers. Anybody that's interested in ever writing for Maryland Leaf, please feel free to email me. Send me some samples of your writing. I'm literally always down to hire people. I love new perspectives. And there's so many articles that we're writing that, it's not like if I hire someone, I got to fire someone. There's room for everybody. So we like to work with new people, and I think it keeps us from getting stuck in one corner and saying one thing over and over.
And to share that perspective, to show that it's not just, I guess, cannabis users aren't just like bums.
Yeah.
We're
They get a bad rap.
like, and I think changing that perspective and having that out there is different, and changing that is needed. Like you said, with your dad and everyone is coming out and open and changing. We need that.
Absolutely. And part of our monthly articles is the Patient of the Month story, and we do have such a wide range of stories on different patients. Sometimes it is a patient who's just been able to find happiness through cannabis, or it just helps them alleviate minor symptoms and keeps them having a great day. But there are other people that have had traumatic and life-changing experiences who I think it's also important to feature, because one, they're brave enough to share their story with us and the whole world essentially, and two, there's some people that just still don't know, like you said, that stoners aren't just lazy and people that like to sit around and smoke weed. There are legitimately people that cannot live without cannabis. So showing those stories, I think, helps to change people's mind a little bit. And I feel grateful to be able to meet these people and to hear their stories and to share them with others.
And I'm grateful.
We're just going to find. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, go ahead. Just saying that we appreciate him sharing that.
Absolutely. But the different things that we're finding out that it does. I mean, that people can get off of, heroin and opiates that from, just a little bit of, CBD or whatever, just cannabis.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's, just what we're trying to show everyone is how there are so many different ways that cannabis can help different people. And nobody's the same. You can't, it's hard for us to say, go and use this product and you're going to feel this way, because nobody's brains are going to react to that product the same way. You might have a similar experience, which is why we can, make recommendations. But at the end of the day, cannabis is a personal journey, and figuring out what works and what doesn't work at first can be a process of trial and error, and then, as we've been saying this whole time, just education comes in, and the more you educate yourself, the better you're going to feel in the long run.
Well, I really appreciate you doing that. I mean, with the magazine, you've been doing it for a long time. I guess you started in 2010.
Yeah.
So the other magazines in the other 6 states that we're in, the first one started in 2010, the Northwest Leaf for Washington State. It moved into Oregon. I might be a little bit fuzzy on the timeline of when these all got formed, but Northwest and Oregon are initially the first ones. My dad actually moved from Baltimore to Newport, Washington, a few years ago, and he met the founder of Leaf Magazine on a podcast. Actually, they were both kind of hanging out during a podcast. And my family actually has done printing for 4 generations in Baltimore, printing everything from brochures for big companies to magazines for nonprofit organizations, to you name it. So that was what I did immediately following college. I started working in my family's printing business, and I still do that now. And that kind of gave me the expertise that I have, along with obviously my dad's years and years of expertise, and how to print really nicely looking professional magazines. And that's why we want to be different with our magazine. We have a big, it's a big, wide magazine. It's kind of larger than most publications you pick up, and we wanted to make an impact and have that kind of speak for itself before you dig into our content.
And
It's a short magazine.
Thank you.
Dope magazine, man. Again, it's page turning each issue. Is there any other form of media that you guys have been embarking into?
Yeah, so there is a Leaf Life podcast. That's the founder and one of the owners of Leaf Magazine. And they bring on different people and they talk about tons of different things going on in the cannabis industry. And they've been doing that, and they're really just, trying to keep it going. I think podcasts, as you guys know, here we are. Podcasts are definitely a big thing of the future. And I think that there's so many listeners out there that there's legitimately room for everybody to eat in this podcast business. And so, yeah, if anybody wants to check it out, Leaf Life Podcast on Instagram, and Leaf Life Podcast, you can search them on Google. They've got ads in our magazine every month as well. We're trying to get their message out there as best we can.
Definitely cool. And again, we need that as far as media within the cannabis industry.
Mm-hmm.
That awareness and that stigma, man. We need to change the narrative.
And the only other big thing that we're working on in terms of media right now is we are trying to sort of show a little bit better look into our grow tours that we do every month. So each month we go into a different grow. We've done about, I think, 13 of Maryland's 15 grows. And each one is a little bit different. They all have similarities, but we want to kind of show people exactly. We take pictures and we write articles every month, but I think it's also very helpful for the people that do have Instagram and the people that are following our Instagram closely to see exactly what it looks like when you're walking in the door of a grow. I don't think a lot of patients have seen it in Maryland, and it's kind of exciting.
I can only imagine, man.
Yeah.
Do tours.
Right, man. What's up with a tour?
Keep in touch with me because like I said, we go on a lot, and once COVID has settled a little bit, they'll allow more people to come in with us. But it's been tough to get tours for these last few months because think about being a grow, and they have to be very careful who they're letting in their facility. For example, several grows that I've been to had asked me about COVID testing and everything, which is obviously a big question. You need to ask that in today's day and age. And it's good to see that they're taking special precautions and actually caring about that, because so many businesses in and outside of the cannabis industry have neglected guidelines surrounding COVID. And this is a medical industry. We can't be putting patients at risk by doing things that are out of protocol.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Again, this is medicine, so we have to take precautions.
Absolutely.
Yep. Yeah. Now, I have a question. Each crop is different with the cannabis. How reliable is the breakdown of all of the terpenes and stuff?
Yeah. So you're saying like on a Bud of the Month article, how reliable is the information we put? So we try to put out our Bud of the Months. We work really closely with grows to try to get products either before or right as they hit the market, so that we are getting basically when you see a Bud of the Month article, you should be able to buy that batch in a store the same day the magazine comes out. There are definitely circumstances where that exact batch has left, but there is a bit of inconsistency, and I definitely always recommend looking at all of the information on your packaging before you make a purchase. It's not as easy to do that now with all of the online ordering and stuff, but if you really need to know that, which I think everybody does, I would recommend calling your dispensary, or asking your dispensary when you go there, hey, can you guys start uploading information online? Because some of them do. I've seen several dispensaries that have up-to-date terpene and THC information on their menus online, but it is a difficult thing for them to keep up with, obviously, because there's a lot of information being put in. if in an ideal world, we would have a setup where these dispensaries could be scanning a QR code or something, making it really simple for them to just put that straight into their website. They could just go scan, or go to the product page and scan, and then it's up there. Because everyone's having to do it by hand for the most part right now, and it's a lot of work. And to be honest, our dispensary workers here in Maryland bust their asses already. It's any dispensary you've been to in the last 6 months, I'm sure, has just been crazy. There's a million people there. I think that COVID has increased a lot of people's cannabis consumption with anxiety and other things that come along with it. I say it all the time, but I'm so grateful to all of these people that work in the industry here and make it possible, because without the frontline industry workers, we wouldn't have anything we wouldn't have any system.
Mm. So the dispensary workers are the ones that are breaking down the terpenes, or it's not the growers?
So it's the growers, but if they receive a certificate of analysis along with their product, that's up to that dispensary whether or not they want to go and have one of their dispensary agents type in all of that information on their menu, strain by strain by strain by strain. So if a dispensary has 50 strains on their menu, that's 50 sets of numbers, long amounts of big, with 0.03567, very, very odd numbers that can be confusing. And it's really just, I think that the best way to get your information and not be a pain in the ass to your bud tender either, probably just ask them to see the label while you're doing your in-store pickup, or if it's a dispensary that's not just doing curbside and they're actually allowing people to come in, which quite a few are now. I would say just ask for the certificate of analysis. If your bud tender or the manager at the shop, sorry about that, guys, dogs are going crazy. If the manager or the bud tenders there don't know what a certificate of analysis is, then that's usually a problem. I would say that everybody should know what that is now, and I've definitely come across cases where people don't know what it is, and I've tried to teach them about it. But there's a lot of new people to cannabis in this industry because the barriers to entering as a worker are not super high. You can apply to a dispensary or a grow or a processor, and usually you can get a job there, and you don't have to have a master's degree in cannabis from the University of Maryland or Oaksterdam University certificate. You just really need to have a passion for cannabis, or really just want to learn about it and work.
Yeah. Wow.
It definitely brings people together.
It does bring people together. I mean, I've met so many incredible people in Maryland's cannabis industry. Even just visiting my brother for a week. My brother is the state director for Oregon Leaf, Wyatt Early, and so we went and toured a grow when I was visiting him in Oregon, and it was amazing. It was so cool to be able to see a grow there versus a grow here. It truly is the Wild West out in Oregon. There are a lot less rules in place, and it's still a system, if you will, for their recreational program, but it's a lot more relaxed, and so I can see Maryland getting there eventually. But these growers and processors and dispensaries here really just have to focus on being compliant. They can't do anything outside of the rules, and they wouldn't want to either.
Not worth it, man.
Exactly. They've got a really good thing going with all these grows and dispensaries, and I think most of the grows in Maryland have started to fine tune their products and kind of craft it to their market in a really nice way. Everybody's pretty prevalent on the market here. I don't really think there are many growers who, maybe with the exception of one or two, that people don't really talk about as much, but there's a lot of love for the grows in this industry from a lot of people. I think obviously there's two sides to that coin. There's people that love to say everything they dislike about it, but at the end of the day, I'm happy to be here.
Definitely, man. And again, we're happy that you're here, man. Just bringing that knowledge and love to us and spread that, man. So we should keep doing that. So in the near future, as far as the legislation, if you will, or the laws, as we talk about, with the growers and the licenses in place, do you think they will extend that? Do you think they will have any new ones come about? Or
I think that there will be new licenses. As we know, there's been a huge delay in the 4 new minority appointed licenses that were supposed to be given out. We're actually doing a deep investigation into that right now. We've got one of our writers dedicated just to that story. He's been on it for over a month now. And we're not going to release the story until we uncover something big, because I think it's pretty clear that there's something going on with these licenses that is not what we want to be happening with them. And it's crazy that it's been this long and these licenses are still a mystery to so many people, And if there would be anyone that would know what was going on with them, it would be the people that I talked to at grows and the higher ups at dispensaries and whoever else. But nobody really knows a solid answer right now on what is happening with those. And it's sad, it's something that shouldn't have ever had to be a thing in the first place. The fact that 0 of our licenses were given to a majority owned by minority companies, it's crazy to me, and think that Maryland is going to be under heavy fire soon from people like us, our magazine, that are worried about these licenses and what's actually happening with them.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm hopeful that there will be. I'm hopeful that this program will expand. It's likely that within 5 years from now, we'll have some sort of recreational system here. And I'm not a politician or anything like that, but that's just my opinion. I think that we'll follow suit of other states and move towards a recreational program. And then all of the dispensaries here will be able to operate both medically and recreationally in separate sides of their stores. So that can be something that can help a lot of people out as well, that aren't able to get their medical card for whatever reason.
Factual. Yeah, because like we were speaking about earlier, to experience or to see how it is on the West Coast and everything like that, and to see how it is here, home, it's totally different, man.
Yeah, it sure is.
Apples and oranges.
It really is. It's a whole nother world out there in terms of cannabis. They're just so much further ahead than we are, and it's just a matter of time, before Maryland sort of catches up to where the other states are. And we can also use them as an example, to things that we want to do differently and things that we want to copy from them. Because, while it's different and it's cool out there, it's not perfect,
At
Yeah.
all.
Maryland is one of the only states in the country that requires terpene testing on their packaging. So, lots of patients in other states and recreational states don't even have even close to the same knowledge that we do. And being able to get it, I'm sure, is even more difficult, because if certain bud tenders in Maryland don't even know what a COA is, then how is one in Oregon, who doesn't even have to put it on their packaging, besides the THC information, going to know what it is, So, Maryland's medical program does have its benefits. It has its drawbacks too, but it's definitely something that I think people in Maryland are overall really grateful for. And, to be able to go and drive, I have a dispensary less than 5 minutes from my house, the living room. And to be able to drive less than 5 minutes to get whatever medicine I need, I don't have to call some sketchy guy anymore. And
Right.
and
get whatever you're gonna get.
and get whatever he's got that week or that month. I can choose what I need. I can be smart about my decisions, and I get to make a lot of friends. I love meeting new people at dispensaries. The bud tenders show me a lot of love, and I'm really grateful for that. And I love them back.
Definitely, the living room is definitely dope. And they deliver as well, man.
They do, yeah. They deliver, and a lot of people are making moves towards delivery, which is nice.
Yes, definitely. Very convenient. Because for some patients who are not able to, get out, definitely convenient and helpful as well.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people don't have transportation, and some people physically aren't able to get up and get out of bed or go past their door where they can get their medicine. So that's a huge thing, and delivery is definitely a thing of the future. Once people get a little bit more comfortable with it, I think it's still a little bit of an area where people are like, really, I can have somebody drop it off at my house? It's almost too good to be true when you first hear it.
Yeah.
It's still a little sus and sketch, but still.
Right. But it's at the end of the day, there are a ton of pharmaceutical and medical companies that ship medicine directly to your door. The only difference is this is being done directly by a person, because the federal government won't let us ship it in the mail. For good reasons, probably, though. We don't want a bunch of weed going through our mail, because then people are going to get greedy, and people will start robbing people's mailboxes. The postman will get greedy. He'll take people's packages with pot in them and stuff,
Yeah, it can go left real quick.
Not saying at all that I don't want cannabis to be fully decriminalized nationally, because that is, of course, not my end goal, but the end goal of in my opinion, the cannabis industry is to be nationally recognized legally.
Yes.
So if you can release any information, what's the plans for the near future for Maryland Leaf? Anything that you release?
So yeah, I will say that we're trying to grow and grow. We want to be in 25 states by 2025. We want to just keep fitting in where we fit. We just started the Northeast Leaf, which covers everywhere from New Hampshire and Vermont down to New York and everything, Maine and Massachusetts and everything. And we actually have some old senior staffers that used to work with High Times that are now working with us. They're taking over Northeast Leaf, or they run Northeast Leaf, and that we're really happy to be working with them. They're doing a fantastic job, and this is the closest step of our expansion is just growing Northeast Leaf, continuing to grow Maryland. I've made so many great connections and so many growers, processors, dispensaries here in Maryland that it feels great to have them all have accepted us, and we want to just continue to meet great people and continue to make these awesome connections with everyone.
Of course.
And for the immediate future, January will be our future issue. So we're going to be focusing on everything, what the world's going to look like with cannabis moving forwards. We're talking about some really cool programs that focus on people's future in cannabis. And I think it's going to be pretty enlightening for people, and it's going to help people make some decisions about what they're going to do.
Hey.
Look forward to that.
Of course.
Absolutely.
Definitely going to be first in line for that issue. And if you don't mind, Wyatt, can you drop your information again? Those the website where they can get the free issue.
Absolutely, yeah. So anyone can read our issue for free online. Everything dating back to January 2019 at issuu.com. And you just search Maryland Leaf on there, or you can just type in Maryland Leaf on Google. You can find us there too. On Instagram, we're one word at Maryland Leaf. And we're trying to get as many interactions as we can on there, so follow us. And Leaf Life Podcast, please check out Leaf Life Podcast as well. They're covering everything from taxes and cannabis to cannabis lounges, so I think there's something for everybody there. And there's tons of episodes out now, so there's going to be something you'll like.
Definitely check that out, man.
Absolutely.
Maybe we can collab on that too.
Talk to Wes. I'm sure he'd be happy to do something with you guys.
Oh man,
we're down. We're open. But of course, Wyatt, thank you again for joining us. Again, guys, check Wyatt. Check out Maryland Leaf. Depending on your location and area, he has magazines for all of you guys. So check out Northeast, West, Oregon, all of that.
Yeah. Any anybody who's not a patient as well, you can just pop into the front room of a dispensary, ask for a copy of Maryland Leaf. They're still going to give it to you. You can't buy any weed, but you can grab a free magazine.
No, just grab a magazine, man. Enjoy it. Flip through.
Yeah.
But again, thanks again, Wyatt. We will be in touch. And again, stay tuned and be on the lookout for those magazines for the first of the year, man.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been a pleasure, and I hope to do this again sometime soon.
Of course. Thank you.
Have a great rest of your week. I'll see ya.
Thank you. Peace. Bye.
You're doing what you do.
All production for this show has been done by
Rebel Media Group. Let's build your brand with you.
Contact us to take your business to the next level.
You can email us at mediarebelgroup@gmail.com.
If you enjoyed this podcast, like, share, and subscribe.